President Donald Trump was stopped on the tarmac and asked by reporters about three of the most controversial people in politics right now. The first one, he was asked about his upcoming meeting with the new communist, socialist, left-wing radical mayor of New York, Zohran Mamdani.
You said you would arrest Benjamin based on the 2024 International Court arrest warrant. Next UN General Assembly, as mayor, would you do that?
So I've said time and again that I believe this is a city of international law, and being a city of international law means looking to uphold international law, and that means upholding the warrants from the International Criminal Court, whether they're for Benjamin Netanyahu or Vladimir. I think that that's critically important to showcase our values, and unlike Donald Trump, I'm someone who looks to exist within the confines of the laws that we have. So I will look to exhaust every legal possibility, not to create my own laws to do so.
On the other hand, this is also a world event. Does that not count a little bit?
Well, I think we are a global city, but I also think what New Yorkers are looking for is consistency in the way in which we talk about our values and follow through on them. And that's why I think these warrants from the International Criminal Court, they are worth fully exploring every legal possibility to actually follow through on.
In the city of New York, that is going to catalog that directive from the mayor. And he knows that. And so the mere fact that he continues to state that, it tells us that he's more concerned.
Yes, US cannot run under international law instead of US federal laws because of the supremacy clause, which makes fed law superior to state law, while international law is considered part of US laws. It does not operate independently of federal authorities and must be consistent with the Constitution. That is the simple truth here. When I see him say this, I believe campaigns are over. He should do research to actually understand what he is doing, because I see a lot of obstacles on his way.
So when people say democratic socialist, right, and I'm curious what you think this means. I mean, do you like capitalism?
No, I have many critiques of capitalism. And I think ultimately the definition for me of why I call myself a democratic socialist is the words of Dr. King decades ago. He said, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism. There must be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. And that's what I'm focused on, is dignity and taking on income inequality. And for too long, politicians have pretended that we're spectators to that crisis of affordability. We're actually actors, and we have the choice to exacerbate it, like Mayor Adams has done, or to respond to it and resolve it, like I'm planning to do.
Are you expecting a mass exodus out of New York? Not just the police, but everybody.
No, I'm expecting a massive inflow, and I'll tell you why. I just got back last night for the first time since the new mayor was elected, and I was expecting a free ride from the airport, didn't get it. I wanted a free dinner, didn't get it, and I couldn't believe they charged me for my hotel. He promised me free everything. Hasn't delivered yet. I'm monitoring the situation. This is just wrong. You can't tell me it's okay to come on and tell me I'm getting everything for free and then don't deliver. What is he, a politician or something?
Sarcasm is a low form of wit.
I'm not kidding. I want free. That's what I'm getting out of him. Let's go.
Those buses. I was surprised that the homeless have not already taken over city buses on the ground that they elected the guy who's going to give it for free.
It's money for nothing and chicks for free, but not for me, apparently.
That was a line from a song.
It is. It's Dire Straits. It should have been his campaign song.
Mark Knopfler's the guitarist.
Exactly. He got it right 30 years ago.
He did indeed.
I watched this guy throughout his campaign. The same things he said, even after these elections, he's still maintaining saying the same things, knowing fully well it is impossible. I don't understand. There is this video you saw at the beginning where he insists he's going to arrest, he's going to implement international law, things like that. I don't know if this guy has actually forgotten that he's just a mayor. That is what I don't know. He's acting like he's now the president of the whole country. He's just a mayor of a state. He said some of these things during campaign. I understand. These are the kind of talking points these people want to hear. They were impressed by it, but campaigns are over. He needs to focus on the real business.
Universal child care
This should be good.
is something that we've seen in other cities, in Montreal, for example, rather in Quebec.
Quebec? You mean Canada. Oh, okay.
We saw the implementation of universal childcare also led to a 10-to-1 economic return. This is something that we care about it on a moral level, care about it on a political level, but also on an economic level.
Morals, political, economic. Got it.
And I've put forward two proposals that I think are the most straightforward and direct ways to raise the revenue for this program as well as our economic agenda and to start Trump-proofing our city.
Trump-proof? Does that mean you're not going to accept federal funds?
Increasing personal income taxes on the top 1% by 2%.
Okay, Kathy Hochul says she's not going to do that.
Increasing the state's top corporate tax rate to match that of New Jersey.
That was interesting. He is going to raise the state corporate tax to match that of New Jersey's. Two things. You can't do that because, well, you're not the governor. And two, why don't you tell people what the rate is? Because right now in New York, I believe it's about 8.8%. Corporate tax in New Jersey is 11.5.
Also said that the most important thing is not how we fund it, but that we fund it.
Not how we fund it, but that we fund it. I gotta tell you, it's better than Hakeem Jeffries.
I think these are the most direct ways to do so, but any funding stream that would fund these programs, that is one that we would welcome, because the most important thing at the end of the day is that someone can raise their family in this city and that we make it easier for them to do so.
Well, I don't think any of that's going to happen because the governor, again, which you are not, says she's not raising taxes. So what other streams of income is he talking about? Look, I'm not saying that he's a flim-flam artist, but...
Yes, I believe you've seen this picture. Laura Luma posted this yesterday. Why is Mamdani's secret meeting with the communist president of Colombia should disqualify him from getting a U.S. security clearance in the most concerning instance of the Red-Green Alliance? Yet, New York City communist has coerced up to Colombia far-left President Gustavo Petro, who was recently sanctioned by the United States for, if you look at what this guy has actually done within the time between his campaign and now, there are just a lot of things. If you see a lot of people calling him out for meeting this man, it should concern you. I said it yesterday on one of my videos. If you've been following me keenly, there are a lot of people, they don't want me to cover this guy, but I will do my best to follow him all through. I want to just show people what he's doing. That is all. Giving my commentaries. That is what I'm doing here. So I don't understand why people keep really going off on me every time I post a video about this guy. I don't understand why. I just want to open people's eyes. Yeah, bring videos in around you. That is exactly what I'm doing here. Thank you guys for always been there sharing out my videos. I don't want to make the video long. I think I'm going to end here. Please, for the short clips you see at the end, that is for the YT algorithm. They only recommend videos on this channel. So we try our best to,
Mamdani is the future of the party.
But do you plan to call President Trump?
I will be reaching out to the White House and as we prepare to actually take. So Donald Trump.
And I think it's the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Like, what did Mamdani say in his acceptance speech in New York? He said there is no problem. What did he say about no problem too big for the government or too small for the government to fix?
Mamdani! Dios me libre. Oh, my God. This is comunista.
I think the Democrats are still a mess.
And frankly, he could do a master class for all Democrats.
I was expecting Democrats to win. Supported by the Democrats, they run California. Read it. Virginia, in particular, has never been.
And by extension,
it voted over.
That was my first instant to have more Republicans on the show, but they don't want to come on. They're scared of us. It's history.
Wait, when I say I'm not going to be apocalyptic, he even gets an off.
If the Democrats...
Because how many times do somebody asks?
4.
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States. If you want to serve in the American...
Give interviews, I don't
Right.
do them.
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States.
Happening at the moment.
Yeah. President Obama.
He's blatant censorship.
Because he says he has a team of fact checkers.
The FCC want them to stop fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Americans, it's a part of who we are.
Because that is really something that didn't happen before. Does anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's...
I'm going to say one.
Look, there are certain rules of free speech that we must all abide by. But in case anyone needs a refresher, we're going to go over the rules again.
He does not have a right to have a television show.
To spreading lies.
Somebody to get up there, not all the same people that are in these polite...
Disagree with Gavin Newsom said that he doesn't...
Dave Chappelle.
Without of interest.
I mentioned last night Trump was bragging about how surprised to see Darth Renner.
Mad every fucking day. I mean...